Coming up, Coconino County takes steps to combat fentanyl abuse. Plus, spooky season in Flagstaff means fun for the family. The news starts now.
You're watching NAZ Today, Northern Arizona's local news.
Good evening and welcome back to NAZ Today. I'm Tori Smith.
And I'm Quanah Arnold. Thanks for tuning in.
Fentanyl is the #1 cause of death for adults aged 18 to 45, and Flagstaff is not immune from the problem. Coconino Health and Human Services is working to combat fentanyl abuse. NAZ Today's Michaela Richardson joins us with more.
Thanks, Tori. I went to the Social and Behavioral Sciences building at NAU to learn about fentanyl test kits and Narcan, which can both be used to prevent an overdose.
The NAU Social Work Club collaborated with Coconino Health and Human Services to teach these people how to respond to an opioid overdose.
Fentanyl is a synthetic opioid. Fentanyl often will clump together when it's pressed into pills, and so one pill could have just a tiny bit of fentanyl, whereas another pill could have a lethal dose of fentanyl.
Fentanyl test kits have been available at the Coconino Health and Human Services for 6 months, thanks to a recently passed law.
It was May of 2021. The Arizona legislature passed a law that declassified fentanyl test strips as paraphernalia.
The newly legalized strips are potential lifesavers.
The fentanyl test kits are used for people who are intending to ingest drugs, that they would test them to see if the drugs contain any fentanyl.
While the strips test for the presence of the drug, Narcan is used to reverse the effects.
Narcan is an opioid overdose reversal medication, and it's literally a life-saving drug.
Narcan is easy to use and can be used as many times as needed to wake someone up from an overdose.
You can keep administering doses every 2 minutes until the person wakes up or until help arrives.
Members of the Social Work Club say they encouraged guests to be trained because it is the humane thing to do.
So I would say that as social workers, we have specific goals that we try to achieve. And I'd say the most important is dignity and worth of a person. So we really value every individual, regardless of what they're going through. It's important that we have this training available because it's really going to save a lot of lives.
To receive a fentanyl test kit, visit coconino.az.gov/health and human services. Michaela Richardson, NAZ Today.
NASA has returned to Flagstaff after 11 years in order to prepare for the Artemis mission. Not only are the astronauts training here in Flagstaff at Babbitt Ranches, but NASA is also practicing rover operations in a remote area 40 miles north of Flagstaff. The focus of the Artemis mission will be to examine the so far unexplored lunar South Pole.
The NAU Health Promotions Office will be hosting a sexual health fair tomorrow afternoon from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It will provide resources for both relational and sexual wellness education, as well as a raffle being offered to those who attend. The university, in partnership with Coconino County Health Services, will be offering free HIV and other affordable sexual illness testing on campus. These services are offered at least once a semester. The latest fashion trend taking the world by storm, known as thrifting, that is, taking old clothing and making it new again, doesn't seem to be going away anytime soon. NAZ Today's Hannah Ware went around town to learn about thrifting culture and how it's both fun and environmentally friendly.
Out with the old and in with the new, right? Well, that's not the case here in Flagstaff. I'm at Fashion Runway Exchange to learn about how thrifting culture is growing, and I might just have to pick out an outfit for myself.
Runway Exchange isn't your typical thrift store. They only provide trendy pieces that are up to date. Store manager Amy Hiller says that the goal is to have their customers feeling confident in their new outfits.
With our location, we have a lot of NAU students that come in that are either going out for the night or going to Vegas. We get a lot of those, even just people traveling through, stopping in for a special night outfit. People going to weddings that forgot some items, we get a lot of those.
The exchange process is simple and easy. People will bring in their clothes, determine what is able to be sold, and donate what is left over, all within a matter of 24 hours.
We pay 20 to 40% of what we're going to sell it for in the store, and that is based off brand and condition and whether you choose cash or in-store credit in the store.
Hiller says the amount of wasted clothing is disturbing.
We could sustainably live in the clothes that we have already produced for many years. So when you're able to then take that item and hand it off to someone else, it doesn't lose life.
Over at NAU, the president of the Thrift Jacks Club, Allison Parker, says that clothes are one of the most overproduced products in the world.
When stores mass produce clothing that are considered trendy at the time, and they are cheaply made from synthetic fibers and won't last a long time, so people buy them and then wear them for a short while, and then the store's on to the next new trends, and then people buy those.
The Thrift Jacks host exchanges for people to trade and find used pieces. She says the club is important to teach NAU students about environmental sustainability.
It gives students a sense of involvement when they donate and take clothing at our thrifting exchanges, and it's also a fun, affordable way to shop.
Hannah Ware, NAZ Today.
There's only one more chance to visit the Flagstaff Community Farmers Market this year as it prepares to shut down for winter. NAZ Today's Andrew Hornberg was there recently and has more on this local hotspot.
Hi, I'm here at the Flagstaff Community Farmers Market, where local vendors have gathered for the second to last time this year to sell their produce.
The market has become a staple of the Flagstaff community, running every Sunday from May to October. The community remains dedicated, even showing up in the hail and 40-degree weather recently. Staff member Meg Kabodi-Atakai says it's all about community.
Well, this is, I believe, the 22nd year of Flagstaff Community Markets, and every year we've grown a little bit more, and we just, this market was started to support local growers and local food, and just make a great space for community gathering. So every year we strive to do that, and every year we get a little bigger and add a few more friends.
The businesses were nothing but friendly, and some say they've been coming to this market since it opened 22 years ago. This season, however, is coming to a close on Sunday, October 30th. It'll be a final chance to get some fresh produce, jewelry, crafts, and even habanero jelly.
Salmon, goat soap, tamales, you name it. The Flagstaff Community Farmers Market has got it. This is the second to last one of the season, and I for sure will be back next week to get more sourdough. Andy Hornberg, NAZ Today.
The Willard Springs Way site is closing for the season. While typically open during the winter, there are adjustments being made to the way site so Coconino County can reopen the station in April for green waste only disposal. In other news tonight, Halloween is just around the corner and the leaves are withering off the tree. It's time to pick out a pumpkin. We went to Viola's Pumpkin Patch to get the latest updates on this year's festivities. Viola's Pumpkin Patch has been around since 2001 and is a Flagstaff staple for fall activities. Operational manager of the patch, Janet Taylor, says people drive from all over Arizona to experience Viola's spooky season.
People come up from Phoenix who don't have fall, and they see the trees changing and dropping their leaves, and they don't have any of that. So they feel like they've experienced something they can't experience in Phoenix.
From the outside, you would never guess how much work it is to maintain a pumpkin patch in a high elevation area such as Flagstaff. With freezing temperatures throughout the past few weeks, pumpkins risk freezing and rotting.
The snow isn't an issue nearly so much as the freezing temperatures. So we just had an 18, 19 degree morning, and prior to that morning we covered the entire nursery. Every single pumpkin was covered with 3 layers of frost cloth. It is a major production and it's a lot of work.
What's new this year? 2 large skeletons that can be seen from Highway 89A and a new bartender decoration. And of course, their signature straw maze has been rearranged, just in case you think you have figured it out. Local Flagstaff family, the Calls, make it a tradition to visit Viola's.
Oh, it's just fun to come out here and pick pumpkins and watch them grow every year, especially, the younger ones, just being able to actually understand what fall is and carving a pumpkin and having the excitement of picking it out as a family.
I mean, they can spend as much time as they want here. It can be a half hour, it can be 2 hours. Sometimes they'll be like, oh, you're still here? But on a Saturday, it's like Disneyland around here.
The pumpkin patch is open 7 days a week, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and admission is $4. Viola's will be open for the pumpkin patch until October 31st, and will have a lot of hay bales, corn stalks, and half-price pumpkins for sale after that. Coming up, no word yet when the Biden administration student loan forgiveness program will be reinstated. Stay with us.
Well, while we're on the topic of pumpkin patches, this week is actually the perfect time to go, as we will be seeing some beautiful weather this week. We will see a warming trend throughout the week. Tomorrow we'll dip down just a little bit in temperatures to 21 degrees as we hit a cold front. But as that moves out of northern Arizona, we will be seeing a beautiful week and slowly climb up in our temperatures. Now that is all I have for right now, but stay tuned after the break.
When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. Now I'm anything but lonely.
We have this deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure
love.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
I grew up in the housing projects of Cleveland. I didn't even know that life could be any better than it was. Education for me has been a way to get away from the agony of what was normal life. I want to be able to impact the community, not just look back on where I came from, but to reach back to where I came from and pull some people up with me. My name is David, and I am your dividend.
Hey, can you chop the pineapple? Chop the
pineapple.
Nope, I'm high. How about I wash off the grapes?
Yes.
Okay.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope, I'm high. Let's order in.
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
A legal challenge to President Biden's student loan forgiveness program has millions of people wondering, what now? This week, borrowers were supposed to see their debt canceled, but with the legal holdup, they're still waiting.
CNN's Jen Sullivan reports on what borrowers and those who qualify for the relief should know.
Debt relief in legal limbo. A federal appeals court put President Joe Biden's student loan forgiveness program on pause for now.
I'm still waiting for that relief, right? No one's had their debt canceled yet.
Friday's move barred the administration from canceling loans, while the court considers a legal challenge from 6 Republican-led states. So, what does it mean for the more than 20 million people who've applied for relief so far? The Biden administration appears confident the program will prevail.
But we're not deterred. We'll keep fighting for you and pushing through.
The administration had said Sunday was the earliest day it would start discharging loans. So people will now have to wait a little longer while the program's fate is decided.
I'm one of the people that we're fighting for.
Cody Hunanian is the executive director of the Student Debt Crisis Center, a nonprofit focused on ending the student debt crisis, who is also waiting for some of his debt to be forgiven.
It's not going to erase my entire debt, but it's a third of my student loan debt, and it, one, opens up the door, hopefully, for the ability to purchase a home, invest in myself in a different way.
The program would dismiss up to $10,000 in debt for eligible applicants, up to $20,000 if they received Pell Grants. So, what should you do if you qualify? The White House is still encouraging people to apply at studentaid.gov. And the Better Business Bureau continues to remind you to beware of ongoing scams.
Scammers have been right there to take advantage. They know that there's a bit of confusion about what's going to happen next.
For today's Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
The 6 GOP-led states that requested a preliminary injunction argue President Biden does not have the legal authority to wipe out the debt.
Meanwhile, government lawyers argue that the Secretary of Education was granted the power to discharge debt by Congress in a 2003 law known as the HEROES Act, while President George W. Bush was in office. Stay with us.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So, yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Welcome back to NAZ Today, everybody. My name is Hannah Ware, and I'll be your student weather forecaster for the night. Currently looking at our temperatures, we are seeing a beautiful 54 degrees with mostly clear skies. Something to note here is our wind speeds, 18 miles per hour. We got a slight breeze in and out throughout the day, so that 54 degrees can sometimes feel like 50 to 45 degrees throughout the night. And we can actually see in our current satellite, we do have some cloud coverage pushing right through that northern Arizona region, but nothing too crazy. Looking at our highs and lows for today, our high is 54 degrees with the low of 25. We're about 5 degrees under those averages, nowhere near our records of 75 degrees in 1959 and a chilly 14 degrees in 1972. Once again, we have not seen any precipitation as of yesterday, so we're still about 1.5 inches under those averages. And our sun rises at 6:42, sunset at 5:38 p.m. Those days are getting smaller and smaller, so take that daylight by the hand and roll with it, because we only got about 11 hours throughout the day. Looking at our high temperatures all around, everything's about 50 to 60 degrees here. However, Phoenix, a high of 78, Las Vegas, high of 73, and Grand Canyon, a chilly 49 degrees. Looking at our forecast low for the night, we will see 25 degrees, those mostly clear skies. And as we head into tomorrow, we'll see a beautiful 50 degrees and sunny skies with that sunrise at 6:43 a.m. Now moving into tomorrow, all around northern Arizona, we can see Phoenix and Lake Havasu. You guys are still in those 70-degree temperatures, and then everything is still around those 50s and 60 degrees. However, there are a few cities that will be hitting below freezing. Flagstaff 21 degrees for the low, Tuba City 28, Winslow and Show Low you'll be at 23 and 22 degrees. Now looking at our Flagstaff extended weather, which is something to note, tomorrow we are going to see a dip in temperatures as we see a cold front with a high of 50 and a low of 21, but we'll slowly climb our way back up, and Sunday and Monday we will see a beautiful temperature of 58 and 61 degrees. A little bit of cloud coverage here and there maybe on Sunday, but nothing too crazy. Now that is all I have for weather, but stay tuned after the break for sports with Michael Manny.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. and another and another and another and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? Well, now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
How prepared is your family if a wildfire shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or an earthquake? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza. Yes.
Make a plan today.
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown, and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Heard about the scarecrow who won an award? He was outstanding in his field.
Good evening and welcome back to NAZ Today. I'm your sports reporter, Michael Manny. This fall is quickly turning to winter. The NAU men's basketball team is about ready to tip off their 2022-23 campaign. And even though they finished last in the Big Sky last year, there's a lot of reason for optimism. I checked in with head coach Shane Burkhart and one of the newest Lumberjacks, Oakland Fort, as the season opener draws closer. The NAU men's basketball team may be coming off a 9-23 season, but for head coach Shane Burkhart, there were a lot of positives coming into this year.
We have 7 returners coming back, as you mentioned, the 5 starters. And in getting old, we have 3 guys who've played a lot of college basketball games. And what it does is really helps our freshmen mature quicker than they possibly could.
All 5 members of the starting team from last year are coming back, including All Big Sky third-teamer Jalen Cohn. Plus, they added veteran guards Liam Lloyd, Xavier Fuller, and Trent McLaughlin via the transfer portal.
3 guys that we really liked out of high school in particular, and then they all played at the Arizona level. So guys who want to be here and help this program reach new heights.
Another new addition to this year's team is freshman Oakland Fort, whom Burkhart first tried to recruit back when he was a sophomore at Sunny Slope High School.
I feel like he's a great coach, obviously. I feel like we have a great relationship. I can go to him for anything that I need. I know if he needs anything, like, I'll have his back on that too.
Fort says he has just one goal in mind for this season.
Win the Big Sky Championship. That's all I'm focused on. That's all the team's focused on.
Michael Manny, NAZ Today. Shifting over to high school sports, we've reached the final stretch of the high school football season as there are just 3 regular season games left. The Coconino Panthers are 3-4 this season and are ranked 20th in the 4A conference, 4 spots outside of a playoff berth. They take on the Grand Canyon region leading Bradshaw Mountain Bears this Friday. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, the 2-5 Flagstaff Eagles are traveling to Cottonwood to take on the Mingus Union Marauders. Flagstaff is in the middle of a tough stretch as they've been outscored by Lee Williams and Prescott 121-33 in their last 2 games. The CAF Sports Network will be broadcasting both games on the NFHS network. Dave Zorn and Reggie Eccleston will be on the call of the Panthers-Bears game, while myself, Brendan Martin, Evan McNelia, and Tyler Murphy will have the Eagles-Marauders game. Well, it's so great to be back talking local sports with you all, but that's all we have for tonight, so stay tuned for your weather recap with Hannah Ware after the break.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Give kisses. Give kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Is your family in need of more quality time together?
Hello, I'm Dr. Spruce. Nature is best enjoyed together. So bring the whole family to discover all the bonding and stress-reducing benefits parks and forests have to offer. Visit discovertheforest.org and trade in phone time for family time.
Birds, squirrels, chipmunks, grass, worms, bugs, trees, rocks, and other objects in nature cannot talk. If you'd like to have a conversation while visiting nature, you will need to bring humans along. We strongly recommend starting with your family.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Welcome back, Flagstaff. Let's recap that Flagstaff extended weather that we will be seeing this week. Thursday, we are going to see that cold front push in, which is why we see that dip in temperatures, a high of 50 with the low of 21. And we will slowly climb back up to Saturday with the beautiful 58 degrees, low of 29, and pretty much the same for Sunday as well. Monday, we will jump back up to those 60s with 61 degrees and a low of 32. And speaking of Monday, you guys, Monday is Halloween, finally. Kwana, what is your favorite costume that you've worn for Halloween?
I would have to say I was a blueberry when I was, I think, 5, and it was very funny to look back on, especially. Michael, I'm curious what your favorite costume is.
Well, Kwana, I'm a big Star Wars fan, always have been. Definitely Darth Vader for me. Hannah, what about you?
I'm a little bit of a Jersey girl at heart, so my favorite costume I've ever done was Snooki. I had the big, nice poof. Tori, I'm curious to hear about yours.
Well, on a different topic, I don't know about you guys, but my favorite candy is candy corn.
You have so many options to choose from. What is it about?
A controversial pick here for sure.
Definitely not a fan favorite, I can see. I actually like to separate the colors and eat them separately. Yeah.
All right, well, I'm normal and I like Kit Kats, so good old classic candy.
Those are perfect. Well, I love talking about Halloween with all of you guys, but we have a show to finish. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Have a safe Halloween, and we'll see you guys next week. Have a good night.
Have a good night.